Hey friends, on today's episode of the SOS Mom Show, we are going to be talking about how to make things easier for your kids to take care of their own things, to be responsible for their own clothing, their own dishes, their own toys, and their own spaces. So I have been working with some clients in person recently, and yesterday was a client that does not have any children, but she often has children in her home, in and out of her home. The neighbor's children, her grandchildren, they are often in their home. And so we talked about creating a simple little space for the kids and in the kitchen. And the main part of creating this space is to help them to be able to be self-sufficient, to be able to fix their own water, get their own glasses, and to not interfere or be in the way when she would be cooking a meal. So they can still get to their dishes without crossing the line between where she would be walking from the stove to the sink with a hot pot, or a sharp knife is not going to be crossing the path of where the children would be going to get their dishes or their snacks. So she had a lot of drawers in her kitchen, and so we used the bottom drawer and created a cute little kids snack station, and it had their stack of cups and bowls and all their little kiddie snacks that are specific for the children, and kept it in that one place so that they can go and help themselves without any stress or any interference from, stopping her from cooking or being in danger of being burned. Before, they had some of their snacks up on the top counter in the cabinets. The dishes were down in the bottom drawer, but then there were also disposable dishes that she was trying to keep available for the children. And so I had this little conversation with her because she doesn't have any children that live there. She should not have to keep a stack of disposable dishes for the same 6 kids that are coming in and out of her house on a regular basis. If they are there every week, every 2 weeks, whatever, several times a week, if they are there frequently and and these children are frequently at her house every week, sometimes daily, but definitely weekly. So instead of having just a variety of mix and match cups and just plastic stuff so the kids aren't climbing onto the countertop and getting glassware, just get a stack of multiple different colors of cups for the children and let them each pick their own color. You can even put their name on it if you want to. That makes it super easy. So each child has their own color of cup, and that's their cup. My mom did this with us when we were little, and the neighbor children that were often at our house, or any children that she babysat, everyone had their own color of cup, and that way it didn't get mixed up and we weren't using 100 cups a day. That was super helpful. I've done this for my children many times in the past. I definitely did it this summer, and it does cut down on the amount of cups and dishwasher loads that you have to do, and it makes things really easy for these visiting children in your life. So that's the goal. We want it to be easy for them to be able to maintain their own things, to be able to get their own water without you having to stop your conversations or your project to go and help them fix a glass of water. A 4-year-old can fix their own glass of water, and certainly a 10-year-old, and anything in between. They should all be able to fix their own cup of water without you having to be involved in it. Make it easy for them. If you don't have a dispenser on your refrigerator or an easy to reach faucet that they can get, consider getting a slow pour pitcher that they can dispense, they can pour into their cup or have someone help with. There's a lot of the party dispensers that have a little, the little button you can push that'll drip the water out for them. That works really nicely when you have a lot of children, and Another quick tip that we talked about to encourage people to drink more water is to flavor your water with fruits and herbs. I have been drinking water with a slice of lime and some fresh mint leaves in it for a while. It is so delicious. Sometimes I'll drop a bag, just a single tea bag in there just to give it some extra flavor and antioxidants. I love green tea. And I don't need it to be sweetened. So for me, that is a really wonderful, delicious, refreshing drink. I know my sister was doing, I think, cucumber and strawberries or something in her water. And she had a little dispenser that held the fruit in the center. At my client's house yesterday, they had fresh mint leaves in the water. And in the dispenser, so the water pitcher has a little cylinder with holes in it that can hold the fruits or whatever you wanted to put in there. You can put sliced citrus or berries, or we did mint leaves in there, and it was so delicious, and it did add a lovely flavor, and it was very refreshing. And it does encourage you to drink more water and be a little bit more healthy with your choices. And water is so good for us. And one of the other things that I've been doing with my water is to put just a little tiny pinch of salt in my water to get those minerals. And the Celtic salt, it's a grayish Celtic salt. It has a lot more magnesium and other minerals that our body craves and really needs to stay hydrated. Those minerals are so essential to our health and well-being. So I've been adding just a tiny pinch of that into my glass of water. You can just do one tiny little crumb of that if that's all you want. It's just one little grain of salt. You can just put that in there just so it doesn't change the flavors at all. And I'm using a 30-ounce glass of water with mine. And it really does help you to stay more hydrated. It keeps you from feeling the need to go and get an unhealthy substitute to drink. And it gives you a fun, refreshing flavor. So I love adding the citrus in there in the summertime. It's just so refreshing. And the cucumber is also just incredibly refreshing, gives such good antioxidants. And then we also, for birthday parties and things, we make our own lemonade with honey or real maple syrup if I'm out of honey, which is rare, but sometimes my kids make their own lemonade with the lemons and honey, and so I will run out a lot faster if they're making their own instead of me making it in the big pitcher. So that is one of the easy things that we do. And if you wanted to change it up and make it really fun, add some other frozen fruits in it. It changes the color to add the blueberries in with your lemonade, and it's still super delicious. Or strawberry lemonade is also really yummy. We all love that. So those are just some fun, easy ways to encourage your kids to have a healthy option and to keep it simple for your children to be able to take care of their own cups and bowls and dishes, and keep it so that they have their own specific thing that they have to be responsible for. And putting their name on it ensures that everyone knows what color is whose. So I've done that with just a Sharpie, just written on the cups. If you do that on glass, it usually just wipes right off with a magic eraser or even a paper towel, and alcohol comes off, rubbing alcohol will wipe that off as well. So those are just some quick, easy tips that I have for how to keep it simple for kids, how to make it so that they can help themselves, create that kid drawer, a snack drawer. For my children at home, they have a cabinet that has all of their lunchbox stuff in it, and we are transitioning it from the cabinet over to a dresser that I have in the dining area, and they have that right by the kitchen, so they can go and grab all of their snacks. Each child has their own drawer in the dresser, so they know what snacks they can get, and they can help themselves all week long to that snack drawer, and that's all they have for the whole week. If they run out, they run out. There's always plenty of fruits and vegetables for them to snack on in the refrigerator, so they will not go hungry. if they run out of snacks. But it keeps it so that they're not eating a month's worth of snacks in 3 days, like has happened before when I just put them in the pantry for them to grab. So simplifying those things, keep it easy for them to have access to what they need. Keep them out of your kitchen workspace so that they are not going to be in danger of walking between you and your knife and the cutting board or the sink when you're walking across the kitchen with a knife, or a hot boiling pot of water. Like, these are real safety concerns that are, I have bumped into a child or had a child put their hand on my cutting board. I can't even tell you how many times. They're sneaky, and if someone else is talking to me and I know there's a lot of children moving around, I often will have 5 or more children at my home. So it's not like I only have 1 or 2 children to keep up with and know where they are and to keep an eye on. I have a lot of children, and my older children sometimes are even more distracting in the kitchen than my younger children. So keeping those spaces safe and keeping safety front of mind when you are planning out where things belong in your kitchen is really important. And I want my children and my clients' children to be able to access what they need in the kitchen without having to climb up on the top shelf of, climbing on the countertops and getting things from up high is not safe for children. So how can we make it easy for them without messing up the whole flow of the kitchen for everyone else just because these children are not the same size as the rest of us? How can we make it so easy for them and really create a beautiful flow to the space and make it easy for children who are visiting to know where to go to get what they need and to feel comfortable getting it, instead of wondering if they're opening the right cabinet and then being, feeling embarrassed, and so they don't even ask. Like, how can we make it so easy for them? One option is to have a basket with these things that you would just pull out of the cabinet and stick on the countertop when you have visitors, and that way they can just help themselves to the basket. That was one option we discussed yesterday with my client. And then once we really created the rest of the flow, we had an empty drawer, so I just felt like that was the best option. It was on the outside of the kitchen, so it really did feel like that was the best space for the kids to be able to get what they needed and feel comfortable snacking and fixing their own drinks. So that is our podcast for today. How can we make it simple for our children and for visiting children, even if you don't have children of your own? If you have children that come to your home, how can you make it easy for them to take care of their own things? So I hope you enjoyed this episode of the SOS Mom Show, and we will be back more next week to talk about even more ways to simplify, organize, and style your home and make it easy for everyone that uses it. My goal with creating an organized space is to create a space that you don't have to think in. I want it to have such a simple flow that it is one smooth motion of completing that task, rather than the back and forth and wondering, okay, where was this item again? Or one example I gave to someone this week was about getting dressed. I don't want you to have to go more than 2 steps to complete head to toe getting dressed. And that is my mission for myself. And I hope it is on your to-do list as well, is to create such a simple flow to the way things are organized in your home that it saves you so much time, and it really takes the thought work out of the process. So the other thing that I really, really want every person to do is to create a wardrobe that does not require a lot of thought to look put together. I want you to be able to grab any pair of pants, any, pants or skirt or shorts or whatever bottoms, and a top and a jacket or a layering piece and some accessories and shoes, any of them, and look put together. I want them to all work together and be able to create a beautiful mix and match, stylish wardrobe that complements you and your personality and your body type. And if you don't have these things set up in your home and you need that done and you need help getting this done, contact me, thesosmom.com. Send me an email at hello@thesosmom.com. Let's book you a session and let's do this. We can do it online. I don't have to be at your home. We can even just talk through this session and how to create this space and give you that flow and give you the answers to those things that have been making you feel stuck. I know so many times when we have this problem space that seems to be, we just feel so stuck in it because it just isn't working. But we are too embarrassed or too frustrated with it, or just don't have the mental energy to put into fixing it right now. So we just deal with it for day after day after day. And the more, like, how many times and how many hours have you wasted living in that stuck feeling instead of just addressing it? Put the time in now, get that session booked, and let's do a virtual organizing session and simplify and organize and create that functional, stylish space that really does work for you and your family. And it doesn't have to be expensive. My goal is to use as much of what you already have as we possibly can before we go shopping for more. That is my number one goal. I want it to be so easy, and create such a flow and get those things that are just extra, those things that are taking up valuable space, and move them out of the way so that we can create that beautiful systemized flow that helps you to get through each task with ease. So if you have not created that for yourself and you're stuck and you're feeling overwhelmed and frustrated with your space, let's talk. Book that session right now. You can do that at thesosmom.com. It is so easy to do. You just go on there and click on the link and it will book that session for you. So schedule your day of the week, your time, and don't wait. I only have a few hours available every month, every week, just a few spots, because I'm a busy mom. I've got 4 kids and I have in-person clients that I'm helping and carpooling. And right now I'm traveling out of town to go and help a client get moved in. So we have so many things that I'm doing because I don't have a whole ton of time. We're all busy. We all need to make our time go towards the things that are the most important. And if you're so busy, stuck, and feeling frustrated and wasting time looking for things, you're wasting your life away. And that time is stuff you'll never get back. You can never get back your time. Once it's spent, it's gone forever. You can't get it back. So let's stop wasting our time and make things easy and simple and create that stress-free, easy-to-use functional space that your family deserves, that you deserve, that makes it easy to take some of those to-dos off of your plate and help have the rest of your family participate in maintaining the space and creating those beautiful, easy-to-use homes that we all love. All right, I hope you guys have an awesome day. If you have not yet left a review for this podcast, please do so. Just go right down on whatever listening to app you use, whether it's Apple Podcast or Spotify or whatever, and please leave a 5-star review for this podcast if you have not done that. Another thing that really helps me is to share the podcast with your friends. Share the podcast. Let other people know that you enjoyed the show, and just let me know if there's anything that I can do, answer any of your questions. If you have a question you want me to answer on the show, send me an email, hello@thesosmom.com. I would love to answer your questions on the show. All right, you guys have a blessed week. I will talk to you real soon. Bye.